There's been some satisfaction seeing Maduro taken out of power as Russia is a close ally of Venezuela. There's also been concern as there's a fear that this undermines Ukraine's argument that Russia's invasion is a clear violation of international law. For more now, we're joined by Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., Olga Stefanishyna. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Ambassador. Of course, we've seen reports warning of a massive onslaught overnight in Ukraine. Are you concerned that America's decision to take Maduro out of power may embolden Putin in Ukraine?
Well, absolutely. These are not topics which really connected to the infield situation in Ukraine. And basically, by the current ongoing missile attack we have throughout the whole territory of Ukraine, just as we speak, we see that Putin were not that much distracted by situation in Venezuela, although he's trying to further put pressure on Ukrainians, thinking that he could demoralize the population, but he gets just the opposite effect of it.
During Trump's first term, Fiona Hill testified that Russia had informally offered to end its support for Venezuela in exchange for U.S. acceptance of Russian dominance in Ukraine. What, if anything, have you heard from the U.S. government since the Venezuelan raid over the weekend?
Well, I think the world has severely moved to the more advanced reality that Russia has in their mind. They are always speculating and trying to manipulate the reality and the facts. So I would not really go into putting a lot of connections to the fact. But basically, what's happening in Ukraine is the massive genocide of population, the war crimes you cannot really imagine. So it's not just a military operation or anything even close to just a military act.
The war is now approaching its fourth year. What progress, if any, is being made toward a peace deal in concert with the Trump administration and their envoys?
Well, basically, I think we should not forget the very fact that we are speaking now about ending the war. And just recently, you saw that the leaders of Europe, together with the American delegation, were joining together with President Zelensky in Paris to not only secure the peace deal, but also to make sure that this deal is not violated. This is exactly what we hear from President Trump when he says that he's not only wanting to end the war, but he wants to secure his legacy by not giving any incentive to Russia to even consider any other aggression of that.
Do you have a sense that we could see peace this year?
Ukraine wakes up every morning willing to have peace. So we are going to seek for any option to end the war. And of course, on the fourth year after the massive aggression which has been started against our people, we will explore every option to end that. And I'm sure that with all of the efforts put in together, with the American leadership working round the clock on that, this is absolutely possible. But it could happen even faster if Russia is hearing the language they understand, the language of strength, power, and pressure.
And what do you make of President Trump's role at this point?
Well, he is a president of the United States who have made a personal commitment to take effort to end the war in Ukraine. He has been declaring since even before he has taken officially the post of the president of the United States. And I think whatever we can do to back up this promise or this commitment should be done, whether it should be done by Ukraine or it should be done by anybody around the world who's willing to restore peace in Europe. And of course, this is the message the Russian Federation as the aggressor should hear. And I think it's been a long time since the aggressor got to know the President of the United States. And we really hope that his determination will give us the chance to end the war and will give no signal to the aggressor, to the Russians, that there is an impunity or a waiver at some point on that.
What's the personal toll been for you of this war, as we mentioned earlier, now going on 4 years?
Well, as a member of National Security and Defense Council, I have spent all these days before I landed as the ambassador in Ukraine with my family. So whatever you're hearing from me on the war, it's not just the words or bullets, it's the experience and knowledge. Unfortunately, I experienced as the member of the government, but also as a human being, as a mother, as a partner, as a daughter, and when we are speaking for ending the war, we're speaking on behalf of our families, of everybody who's holding the front, who's keeping the lights on, who's staying in Ukraine and keep economy running. So we're not talking about one man or anybody in power. We are speaking about entire nation, which will never give up its independence.
Ambassador Olga Stefanishyna, we thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.